Most people think their problem is content. It's not. The real problem, you're posting and nobody is reaching out. No messages, no conversations, no clients. And let me say something that might sting a little. If your content doesn't start conversations, you didn't create content. You created noise. Because here's the shift nobody is talking about right now. Content gets attention, conversations get paid. And today I'm going to show you how to use AI to turn any post into messages, leads, and actual clients. Welcome to the AI Profit Show.
The AI Profit Show with Coach Manny.
Good morning and welcome to our show. I'm your Puerto Rican friend, Coach Manny, bringing you that man-energy this morning. This is the show where we break down AI tools, strategies, and real-world systems that help you actually make money. Not hype, not theory, execution. If you're watching live, drop AI in the comments and tell me where you're watching from. And today I want to try something different. Drop your last post in the comments. Go to your Facebook and drop your post. Copy and paste it into the comments. Later in the show, I might rewrite your CTA, call to action live, because that's what we're going to be focusing on. And because we're not here just to learn, we are here to get results. Let's get into it, my friends. My bunny is over there hitting his feet on there. I wonder if I'm just too loud this morning. I don't think so. Because like I said, I'm going to bring that man-energy this morning. Last week we talked about how AI is speeding up learning. This week I want to talk about what that creates, okay? More content? Yeah, a lot more content. Because now anyone can create posts, videos, captions, graphics, and so much easier. Let me tell you, graphics has never been my game. I used to use Canva all the time because of all the templates. I use it still a lot, but not nearly as much now. I don't have to pay anyone in my company to create thumbnails, right? Because now it's so much easier to do that. I am on the ChatGPT Pro, Gemini Pro, and so I do use multiple tools, and that's not what I'm recommending for you. But nowadays, because of this stuff, you can create all of this in minutes. But here's the problem. Attention didn't increase because of all that content, right? The content increased. That is so true. So now we've entered a new phase. You see, the attention economy, it's overcrowded. The conversation economy is where money is made. Let me simplify that for you. See, views don't pay you. Conversations do. So the people winning right now, not the ones posting the most, the ones who start conversations, build relationships, and guide people to action. Those are the people that are winning the most when it comes to this online, using social media and using AI, because truth is a lot more content creators, including myself, are creating more content, right? Because it is easier to create. I've always wanted to get deeper into copywriting, right? Now I have a copywriter, basically. I just don't want to copy and paste. That's a key thing in this. And so I wanted for ideas. I wanted to help me sound better when I write too. But here's the truth. AI can help you create content, but strategy is what turns that content into conversations, and conversations into cash, which brings us to today's tool. And so we want to talk about an AI tool breakdown. All right, this is where we break down the different tools that are out there. All right, and so I'm going to share my screen with you. And again, we're going to use ChatGPT again. All right, we used it last week. We're going to use it again. I want to make sure I keep this show under 30 minutes. Right now, I am flying. I feel like sometimes I just need to slow down a little bit. your feedback is important to me as well. So let me know. I'm here to make sure that people are getting value. I'm not here to talk to myself, right? I could do that. I could share, look at the wall and do that, right? But today we're still using ChatGPT, but we're not going to use it for content per se. Okay? We're going to use it for conversion. All right? Most people end their posts like this. They type something out and then they say, hope this helps, right? But truth is, that doesn't build a business. Let me show you a better way to have a stronger call to action. And first, I'm going to share with you a basic prompt, right? This is ChatGPT. I use it. I shared last week, I used ChatGPT Atlas browser, right? You got Chrome browser, you got Safari browser. For the most part, I use ChatGPT, but I also use Safari. I also use Arc is the main one that I use the most if I'm not using Atlas. The reason why I don't use this for everything, because some things I can't use Atlas for. It's weird. When I upload a video to this, I'll upload like maybe I see something that went viral and I want to create my own content around this. Hint, hint, pay attention. And I want to create my own content around this. With the ChatGPT Atlas, I can't. I'll record the video, right? I'll use screen recorder and I'll record it, and I want to upload it into ChatGPT, and I want to say analyze this video and give me a Sora prompt that I can use, okay, to help me create my own version of this. Right? I don't want to copy the exact same thing. I want to create my own version. And so I'll say, break this down, watch it, analyze it, and give me the prompt so I can create it. I can create a similar video in my own style of content, right? Because I'm still new to a lot of this as well, especially when it comes to creating videos for the most part. And so when you think about that, when I am uploading to ChatGPT Atlas, it won't really let me analyze that video. So I'll go into Arc, chatgptagain.com, and then it'll let me do it, and then it analyzes it, and now I have a prompt that I can use, and I can maybe add a little to it, take away from it, put my version of it. And so that's another powerful way that you can use this stuff, okay? And so basic prompt, all right? Rewrite this post. Imagine you copied and pasted a post, right? You got a post, or you ask ChatGPT to help you come up with this Facebook post or whatever, right? And you copy and paste the post right after this post and add 5 call to actions. All right? These are key things, all right, that drive comments or DMs, okay? This is exactly what I do a lot. Now, though, ChatGPT a lot of times just gives me a call to action because it gets used to how you are consuming all this stuff. And so it gets to know your personality, how you prefer to talk. And so it helps in those realms. And so you can easily do that and then copy and paste something, right? And then you paste it right now. And then it's going to rewrite that post for you, and it's going to add 5 variation call to actions that you can use to either get more comments on the post, which is another powerful thing when you're creating content, is that you get engagement, or, which is what I get a lot. My friends, this past week, I even got someone who reached out to me because of my AI content. Hey, I'm looking for a partner, and this is what I have going on, right? They see what I'm putting out there. They see I talk about AI a lot, and they see that I'm also a marketing partner, right? I'm a marketer. I have a marketing agency, 7 Theory Marketing. And so they see that, right? It adds credibility to what I'm doing, especially when you're showing up consistently with content around what your expertise is. And so you put up a post, you start putting this out there, and you be consistent. Whatever it is that your focus is, as long as you're consistent, you will be seen as that go-to person. Okay? So keep that in mind. Once you do this and you rewrite this post and add 5 call to actions. Call to actions is, what do you want them to do next, right? A video. You gave them value. You gave them nuggets. You gave them bite-sized pieces of food that they can intake and get some nourishment, right? To help them put out something good or to help them solve a problem. And so with that, what do you want them to do next? And so, do you want them to send you a direct message, right? Maybe it's too personal. They don't want to comment. They want to send you a direct message. I get direct messages all the time, my friends, which is why I'm sharing this with you. Okay? I'm not new to marketing. I'm not new to attraction marketing. I'm not new to social media marketing. I've been doing this for years, right? And so when you think about being able to have some good call to actions that help you get difference, that helps you make a difference in your business, right? Whether you're a solopreneur, small business owner, whatever you have a business, you have a retail business, right? Your goal is to drive those comments and those direct messages. So tell ChatGPT to do that. That alone changes everything. But let's go a little deeper. Let's get rid of that. All right. What you can also do, and this is a strategic prompt. This is to help level up your stuff. All right. You can easily post or type, rewrite this post and give me, all right. You can say 3 curiosity based CTAs. It knows what CTAs are. 3 pain based CTAs. 3 action based CTAs. This is like having an assistant that is working for you, right? It's doing all the research, right? But it doesn't have to search Google and spend a bunch of time to see what's working for other creators. It's pulling data, right? It's pulling data, which is what's great about this, okay? That get my ideal client to comment or DM me, all right? Simple as that. And then you post, you copy and paste your post that you're having in there, and it's going to rewrite that post. Or maybe you see something out there. This is something that I do often to create posts, right? I'll type in tech news today. I'll go to ChatGPT, I'll say tech news today. It will let me know what that is. Make sure you got that prompt there, rewind, copy. But I'll say tech news today, right? It's going to pull the data. It's going to do some research real quick, right? I'm doing this in Claude 2 to see what kind of responses I'm getting. I'm mainly using ChatGPT and Gemini for images. For videos, I'm using Syllabi. I'm just talking while this is working. It's magic, right? And so it's letting me know what's happening in the tech world right now. AI agents, if you guys have been following my stuff, I've been talking about this a lot. And I even posted last night, NVIDIA just dropped Nemo Claw, right? And so maybe I'm going to do number 1. I'm going to say I'll say do a deep dive first. I like to talk to this thing more, to be honest with you. Do a deep dive research on number 1 and create a factual Facebook post for me, right? Just like that. And now it's going to create a Facebook post, all right? And it's probably going to include a call to action anyway for me, okay? So it's thinking. Let me drink a little bit of coffee. Hopefully you have some coffee in front of you while you're taking notes, right? It's even showing you the research it's doing. Okay? It's showing you where it went through. It went through a lot, all right? So it's breaking it down, okay? Now, one of the things that caught my attention with this article, which made me want to really make sure I talk about it, OpenClaw. Right? I literally bought a mini Mac to learn OpenClaw. So when I see NVIDIA doing something like this, I was like, NVIDIA, you're making a lot of noise in this AI world. Okay? And so You can see where it's pulling information from. OpenAI, obviously that's ChatGPT. Rooters, well known. Axios, well known. You can see where it's pulling a lot of its information from, and then it's still going right now. I'm not seeing the Facebook post that I requested. All right. Now look, it's telling me because it's getting to know me, right? Your response is going to be a little different. I can also turn this into a more Coach Manny version with stronger punch and better Facebook engagement while keeping it factual. All right. I'm just going to say create a scroll stopping post. All right. And then it's going to create a Facebook post. I don't want to just copy and paste this. I am going to copy it, paste it, but then I'm going to go edit it before I post it. All right. And then I'm still going to add an image with this. Do you have to add an image? Images still get more views than just regular text, but the regular text, just putting text out there is really, really helping. Or you can even turn this into a comment ladder. And that's going to be another one of our trainings or one of our shows down the road. But a comment ladder helps you go even deeper in getting views and engagement, and how you wake up how you signal the Facebook gods to show your content to more. But it's creating some, is sharing my takeaway. And look, call to action, comment agent. If you want me to break down this, how this applies to your business, right? They can comment, and then I can take it to direct message. Hey, and I'm gonna open it with a question, right? To make sure, like, is it okay? What are you leaning on? What are you doing right now? Direct message, right? I'm not just trying to sell them something. I want to feel a pain. I want to go deeper and letting them know, hey, I can help you, right? And so think about that. All right? So one of the main things that we're talking about as we're diving into this is we're basically creating a conversation funnel. All right? We're basically creating a simple conversation funnel, right? We want to open up the conversations. Here's where people miss it. It's not just the comment that you're going for. It's what happens after the comment. Those are key things. Example, when we tell them to start, or in this case, agent, right? If we say comment agent and they type agent, or we say comment start and they comment start, I'm going to DM them. I'm going to send them a direct message. I'm going to send them whatever I promised, right? I want to get there, but I'm going to ask a question. And then I'm going to try to move them to a call. Again, I'm a coach, right? I want to book clients. I want to get my schedule. I want to have that calendar always going in that retrospect of being a coach and getting on calls with people, whether it's a Zoom call, phone call, but that's the funnel. I'm sending them a direct message, I'm sending them a resource of value, whatever it is that I promised them. I'm asking them a question, and I want to get them to a call. I want to get them to that next move. I don't want to just end the conversation there. It depends also what their answer is. Sometimes, if they don't answer, then that may be not be. They might have disqualified themselves if they never answered because they asked and then they didn't follow through. But that's a funnel. It's not a website funnel. It's a conversation funnel. And my friends, that's where business actually happens. All right. And so now we're moving on to the money move of the week. Okay. Again, we talked about installing a conversation system, all right? And that's what we're going to dive into a little bit deeper. But here's this week's AI money move. And this is where it gets real. You're not selling content anymore, right? If you're thinking about how I can use AI to create some extra income, again, I'm not saying replace your income. You have to have bigger plans than just little side. You got to have bigger funnels and bigger offers. But again, you never know where your whatever your goals are, right? But you're installing conversation systems. I'm all about having systems in place. If you follow my Facebook, I talk about that quite a bit. What's your system? What's your content system? What's your business? I'm sure in your business you have systems to keep things running smoothly. But here's the opportunity. Another AI money move opportunity that you can do. All right. Local businesses, they're posting, but their content, you can see it's not really getting much comments, right? And I'm not saying you need to get a billion comments, but you got to get some type of comments on some of your posts, right? I may not get every single post that gets comments, but I'll get posts that get comments, right? But if you notice someone's content is dead, no comments, no leads, no customers, and you know, you can kind of tell that they're not getting this from their content side of things, there's a good chance they probably don't even know why. They're creating something, but nothing's happening. No conversations, no direct messages, but you understand why, because you've been following the AI Profit Show or you've been following Coach Manny. But here's the system, right? Step one, you find that business with low engagement, okay? And you take one of their posts, right? You take one of their posts and then you use this prompt, okay? You write this prompt. Let's just get a new screen up here. All right. And you can take their post, take a post, right? Take one of their posts and then use this prompt. Rewrite this post to drive comments and messages from potential customers, including a strong offer. See how we're talking about having that offer, right? The offer is something that's going to help you become more profitable or even start that first $500 revenue in your business or bottom line or whatever it is, that extra, right? And so when you rewrite that and you put that in there, then you paste their post, okay? And then it's going to add some simple offers, right? It could be a free estimate. That's an offer. It could be a free consultation. That's an offer. It could be a free guide. That's an offer. And here's the truth, my friends. ChatGPT can help you do that. All right. For example, one of my clients, right? We're sharing posts on their profile because we're like, okay, we got to amp up this personal branding on this part of your things. This part's doing good, that part's doing good, but we need to amp up this. I said, you got 44,000 views over the last 28 days in your profile. Let me take over. Let's beef this thing up. My friends, in 1 week, we had that same amount of views, right? And then it's just going to go up from there. But, what I had to make sure of is to not catch them off guard because they're going to be the one that's replying. All right. So I created a post with a call to action, and then whatever that call to action was, the conversation, the direct message conversation, I sent that part to her so she didn't get caught off guard. Like, hey, if you get a direct message or you see comments like this, and she's the expert. I'm just guiding her, letting her know that this is what they're asking for. And then she can easily, obviously, because she's the expert, can run with it. But I had to let her know that that's most likely going to be coming in, right? And so we're creating that offer that takes it to the direct messaging, right? And so in your case, whatever that is, you can easily do this as that extra income for someone. So you see a business, they're not getting much on there, but you know that you can help them beef it up. Then here you go, help them beef it up. And so then you got those simple offers that you can add, all right? And then you add a call to action that triggers action, right? That's the key. You want them to do something next. So, and then here's the truth. Now watch this, right? When people start commenting, that's not necessarily engagement. Yes, in theory, that's engagement. That's exactly what's happening. But that's not your purpose if your goal is next level, right? My friends, when they're commenting, that's opportunity. That's opportunity because now that business, they have conversations, they have leads, they have potential customers. And you, my friend, help make them happen. That's why that is an AI money move of the week. And this is the shift. Businesses, they don't care about content. They care about having customers and new customers and keeping that pipeline flowing. So if you can help them generate real conversations, you can charge for that service, not as a freelancer, as a system installer, my friend. That's a conversation system, right? And so you can easily charge $500 to $1,500 a month. I said we do stuff like this. We're easily charging, well, we do a lot more than just this portion, so I can't really say in retrospect to that, but with everything that we do for them, because here, as I shared before, we want to serve three different audiences, right? You got those that just want to listen, you have those that just want to watch, and you have those that just want to read. So blog, video, podcasts. That's all three. Who else is there to serve, right? And so in this particular case, we do that for a lot of clients where we serve all three different audiences with one video. And thanks to AI, making it so much easier. Before all of this, I'd have to go and transcribe the video, then I had to hire someone else to create a blog. I don't have to do all that anymore. Okay? So it's never been easier for you, my friends. All right, now let's dive into the community question. My friends, let's see. No one dropped their last post in there, so I can't I don't see anything, so hopefully I'm not missing it. I see some live viewers, but you guys didn't copy and paste. That's fine. If you dropped it in, I was going to show you how to fix it and create a call to action on that. And, if you're still watching or you're watching the replay, just comment "fix my post." And then I'll literally send you a better hook, a better call to action, and a conversation angle. So comment "fix my post," and then we can take it to direct message. But sometimes understand something, my friends. It's not that your content is bad. It's not. It just doesn't tell people what to do. You want to tell them what to do next, right? You want to give them clarity. You want to let them know exactly how you can help them and how to help solve their problem, because they have the pain points and you're the solution maker, right? And if you're learning this AI and you're thinking, how can I take it to the next level in AI? Well, make sure you continue to follow our show, because every week we're going to be diving into something new, all right? Notice we kind of have a series going here, okay? And so, my friends, AI move of the week as we wrap this up. Open ChatGPT and type, "Give me 10 high converting call to actions that would get my ideal client to comment or DM me based on this topic." All right? Whatever the topic is that you're putting out there, right? But it's something you already know, something you're very knowledgeable, something you might already help people with, right? Maybe you didn't start monetizing it yet, but here's your opportunity, right? And so then do this. You're going to get those 10 high converting CTAs that would get your ideal client to comment or DM you based on particular topic. Then use one in your next post, right? Just use one of those CTAs in your next post. Don't use 10, just one. And watch what happens, my friends, because one post that starts conversation is more valuable than 50 posts that don't. Remember that. And so just do that. Just ask ChatGPT or Claude, give me 10 high CTAs that would get my ideal client to comment or DM me based on this topic, okay? And so, my friends, as we close this out, all right? If you got value from today's episode, make sure you follow the AI Profit Show. And more importantly, if you want my 10 highest converting CTAs, comment CTA below and I'll send them to you. And thank you for all those that have been commenting on my other posts. I didn't forget about you. I know you're probably watching this. I didn't forget about you guys. I will send that as promised. It's just time is like, oh my God, slow down a little bit. Okay, but DM me if you want that. comment CTA if you want that. Again, if you're serious about turning your content into clients, direct message me system, and I'll show you how to build this into your business. Because remember, content gets attention, conversations get paid. I'm Coach Manny Rodriguez, and I'll see you in the next episode. Peace.